So for the past week or so, I've been running a supplement brand. I'll show you what I did wrong and what I did right, where I'm at now. So yeah, stay tuned. Product selection strategy going into this was initially, I guess, pump and dump. I was testing out something that could potentially be more long-term and scalable. So I chose a supplement aiming for MRR ideally. I wanted something that was tested with ad concepts that had not been tested. So if liquid chlorophyll is targeting the gut health angle and the knee pain angle and the breath smells angle, or it's targeting the avatars of black men in their 30s who just had a kid, or white elderly women who were above the age of 63 who used to have braces when they were 16, these different types of angles and avatars. I'm going to try and find an untapped angle and an untapped avatar for a tested winning product, so to speak. The way that this is funny, the reason that I stumbled upon liquid chlorophyll going into it to test it was because I was at work and I heard these girls talking about body odor. And whenever the girls at my work start talking about stuff, I'm always listening. I'm like, oh yeah, really? Tell me about that. Where did you get that and all that stuff? Because I'm trying to have some sort of idea as to it's market research, really. It's very helpful market research. And funny enough, she mentioned liquid chlorophyll. And so I've heard about liquid chlorophyll before, and she mentioned body odor. And she said, yeah, she was telling her girlfriends, or the coworkers, I heard that once you have chlorophyll, and she sounded very confident, you drink liquid chlorophyll, you have no body odor. And all your body odor just goes away. And they're like, oh, really? From here on out, I used 2 AI tools to do deep market research. What I started off with was Claude AI. And so what I asked Claude AI to do was create a prompt for AI, a very detailed, intricate, very specific and organized prompt for another AI, which I'll show to you in a second. And the prompt was essentially for the other AI to make a blueprint for me, an entire brand blueprint. So if you think about a house and you think about the blueprint of the house, it has the layout, it has what you're going to need, it has the measurements, the design, what goes where, what you're going to have to do in order to fit this door here and that type of thing. So I was making a layout for the brand. Now what I did is I took that prompt, I put it into Perplexity, which is an AI that's more oriented towards deep research, deep market research, the internet, way better than ChatGPT for research. And so what I got out was, here was the research from Claude AI. Here's the prompt from Claude AI. So I wanted these types of things here. So here was the 4-stage deep research system. What we have here is stage 1, which is the deep market and avatar research. Stage 2, which was angle and strategy research. Ad creative blueprint. We have the website strategy, and that was it. That's really all that I needed there. And so we put that into Perplexity, and I got out this, which is, how long is this? An 84-page document, like you wouldn't believe. Crazy. Okay, so I'll just scroll through this. What I got here was the avatar analysis. I asked it to find me different avatars. What were the best avatars? What were the worst avatars? What were the highest profitable avatars? What were the avatars that were, I could talk for a while about this, and then that wouldn't be helpful. But anyways, I got an 80-page blueprint. Okay, and all you need to know about this is that I essentially know the blueprint now and the different components of the blueprint. So that's really all I need to talk about for that. Video ad creation. So the video ad creation process was fairly simple. I replicated a type of video that I see a lot on Facebook ad library, Meta ad library. And this was a very cut up, lots of different scenes, and it utilized, I guess, stock video you would find online, as well as different creators and this type of thing, and basically merged it all together. So it's not custom UGC, I'm not at that level yet, but essentially that's what it is. It's you take a bunch of different videos and merge it together. Before this, really for everything that I was doing, I would only test by just straight up ripping videos off Callo, off TikTok, off Facebook itself for my competitors, for my comps. And I've seen some success with that, not as much as I would like. Really, it's hard to say. I mean, I have a friend who just launched a product that he got from Callo yesterday, and I guess with the low CPMs, or maybe it was just the product, he got 7 sales within the first day on like a very low budget. So it's hard to say. Take everything I say with the ad creation process as a grain of salt. There are people who are way more experienced than me who have said that you need to absolutely avoid ripping content. So I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm the end all be all. I mean, as you'll see later, I only made 2 sales in the store, so I don't know everything about the process, but I'm just telling you what I did. So I used Premiere Pro, edited all these together. I would say that all this took me about, in total, like disregarding the actual amount of time, but the time that I actually worked on it, 5 hours, 6 hours, really. It wasn't that long. And I think that's because I'm very fast at using this. Bunch of different media. This really didn't take as long as it needed to be. That was for the executive wellness one. This was for my body odor one. I already showed you that. Gut health. Tons. So you'll see here, we'll start with executive wellness for my creatives.
I manage a team of 20, speak at 3 conferences quarterly, and refuse to sacrifice my appearance or energy to do it. My routine had to be fast. Enter chlorophyll. 10 seconds in water each morning. That's it. Within days, I noticed sustained energy, clearer thinking in high-stakes meetings, and my skin visibly improved. No more stress-related breakouts. As a busy professional woman, I don't have time for elaborate wellness routines or constant supplementation. Chlorophyll is the 10-second investment that delivers 24-hour results. Clearer skin means I need less.
So you got that. There's this one too. Different hooks I used.
I manage a team of 20, speak at 3 conferences quarterly, and refuse to sacrifice my appearance or energy to do it. My routine had to be flawless but fast. Enter chlorophyll. 10 seconds in water each morning. That's it. Within days, I noticed sustained energy, clearer thinking in high-stakes meetings, and my skin visibly improved. No more stress-related breakouts. As a busy professional woman, I don't have time for elaborate wellness routines.
And this one again.
I manage a team of 20, speak at 3
The music AI requested is fire. Atmospheric dub techno is apparently what executive girls, so.
Conferences, and refuse to sacrifice my appearance or energy to do it. My routine had to be flawless but fast. Enter chlorophyll. 10 seconds in.
Yeah, so I used basically different edits in there. It's not completely the same. This was the gut health angle.
If you've tried every probiotic and still wake up bloated, here's why. I'm Dr. Tanaka, a gastroenterologist here in the US. Every day, I see patients struggling with IBS, chronic bloating, and irregular bowels despite probiotics, diets, and medications. The issue isn't just bacteria, it's persistent inflammation in the intestinal lining disrupting your gut's natural balance. That's why I've been recommending liquid chlorophyll as an adjunct support. Research shows it helps reduce intestinal inflammation, which is critical for long-term gut health.
Liquid chlorophyll. Your body's holding on to all this fluid, which is why you're blowing up like a pufferfish. So unless you heal your gut, nothing else is gonna work.
We see reduced bloating within 2 weeks, more stable bowel movements by week 4, and significantly fewer flare-ups after consistent use. Nurses and healthcare workers were among the first to notice this benefit for themselves. It's not a replacement for medical treatment, but for patients wanting additional support, liquid chlorophyll offers a simple, research-backed way to help calm the gut. Try it consistently for 30 days and track how your symptoms respond.
Shift in 30 minutes, so I'll end this up quickly. Gut health, different stuff there. Body odor angle was the only profitable angle for me, the only angle that made sales. I thought it was the best creatives as well. Yeah, so I'll just go over this quickly.
If you shower every day and still smell bad, this is why.
You wash your clothes, you shower, you exfoliate, but if you're not fixing what's going on the inside of your body, nothing you put on the outside is gonna work. I started taking liquid chlorophyll. I was seeing it everywhere and I was a bit skeptical, but I did some digging and I found out that it internally fixes the reason you smell. It neutralizes odor before it hits your
yada yada yada. Okay. Is this hook not fire or what?
If you shower every day and still smell bad, this is why.
You wash your clothes, you shower, you exfoliate.
It's different. I'm trying to rush through this quickly. I think this was good.
If you shower every day and still smell bad.
You wash your clothes, you shower, you exfoliate, but if you're not fixing what's going on the inside of your body, nothing you put on the outside is gonna work.
Just close that. It was campaign level product, ad level avatar / angle, creative level was micro test. And micro test basically means that I'm just using different types of generated content, different types of UGC, different music, very minimal renditions of the original video. That doesn't change the entire video, but it's giving Meta at least some differences so that it doesn't take all of my energy and all of my time and resources to create a completely different, unique advertisement when that's not really necessary for testing, because I already have 3 unique angles. How different does the creative need to be? How differently do I need to speak to the angle in 3 different creatives. So I only just focus on those micro tests for the creative level. Instead of doing a PDP, I decided to focus on a listicle. A listicle is similar to an advertorial. It's not completely text focused, but I was essentially showing the main benefits of the product, and you'll see the pros and cons of that. But what I did here was copied a brand called Javi. Actually, let me go to the ad library to show you here. Yeah, so I don't know if, oh, what is this? Oh, that's good. So I don't know if this is just a Q4 thing for Javi, but you'll see here that Javi is running this listicle, 11 reasons why, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of like an article, but more selling based, I suppose, or more benefits driven instead of something that you have to read for. And I wanted to copy this because I thought it was unique. I had other benefits that didn't pertain exactly to the angles and avatars that I was testing. So I thought, why not try this and try and incorporate some of those other additional benefits while showcasing the main benefits that spoke to the people who clicked the ad and landed on the website. So this is kind of what I copied here. Very simple, very easy. GIFs, these videos and GIFs are very helpful. Then you'll have a CTA in the bottom, and then it'll take you to your PDP. I didn't even bother with the PDP. I just sent them to checkout. And if something in your mind said that's a stupid idea, perhaps. But anyways, so here was my listicle. It was a little bit different before. I did change it to be more, how do you say, more UGC focused. So for example, this here before, this little GIF used to be, what did it used to be? It used to be it was a slow zoom in of liquid chlorophyll in like a forest setting. But this kind of has more of a unique UGC kind of driven consumer review type of thing. So here's the headline. Here I had that. Here's the headline. Some benefits women are seeing after drinking that wellness liquid chlorophyll every morning. Kendra M, kind of that article type of thing. Number 1, eliminates body odor from the inside. And then you'll have here. So that's the main benefit. That's my most profitable benefit. So I put that at the very beginning. We have this here, it's healthier than gross aluminum deodorants, targeting a unique angle there. It soothes bloating, irritated gut, and IBS. No more bloating, that's another concept I had. Supports steady energy and focus. This was for the kind of executive CEO, so I had that unique avatar in there. We have it helps your body detox efficiently, kind of targeting that gut angle again. Then we have it clears up your skin and makes you glow. We should have changed this to a different color. But this was, yeah, an additional one that I decided to add. Then we have here to the bottom, getting to number 7 means you're serious about one thing, getting rid of BO and fixing gut health. And then we'll have my offer here, my exclusive offer. 2 bottles for $51.99, sale ends, blah, 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 blah. Liquid chlorophyll, that wellness liquid chlorophyll for chronic. Oh yeah, I should show you the actual website. This was the actual site. So come down here, see all the benefits, see everything like that. Fantastic. There's a deal, claim your exclusive New Year's deal, 2 bottles, whatever. Holiday special, free shipping. We have the three main avatars there, angles. 1 bottle, 2 bottles. Buy one, get one 50% off. The reason I did this was because I wanted to make the first offer look, kind of moot and basic and boring, and I tried to draw them into this one, which is why I had the image, the best offer, the crossout price of being more expensive. I had a regular price spread here, buy one get one 50% off, green coloring, that type of thing, and automatically selected, of course. And so when they'd click, okay, bam, add cart, you'll see here, okay, I think this was a good cart. I'm using Moon bundles. It's not, fantastic, but then, you'd go to checkout and then you have all your stuff there, that wellness. Shout out private supplier from Team Drop named, what's her name? Ming? Oh, that's gotta be racist. Effie. Okay, so we will look here. I don't have a problem with you guys seeing my chats. It's nothing crazy. We have liquid chlorophyll here. Okay, and so this was something going into it where I thought not much at all. I didn't think about the product cost. I didn't think about the cost of goods. This was really an afterthought in my head because I wasn't even thinking about fulfillment. I just needed these products to sell. I mean, that's the last step in my thought process running products now. So what did she say here? She says currently, if you just want to read this, she says currently the average time for liquid products to reach the US is about 15 days. So already that's not fantastic, but I can deal with that. However, if the products are electronics or general goods, the shipping time is around 8 to 12 days. Okay, so slower or faster. But liquid products are quite special and customs inspection is very strict, of course, to be expected. So overall it is relatively slower. Currently, logistic routes from China generally operate at this speed. And it was, because also taking into account my $150 ad spend and Q4 and all that. But those are the things you learn, right? So I'm happy now. I know that if I'm going to run a liquid product, I want to check with the supplier, check the cost of goods beforehand, try and negotiate those down as much as possible, or just don't sell liquid products, I guess. So, but that's now something I know, right? Because of the failure. Okay, so here we are inside of the ad manager, and as you can see, our campaign down here, LC, was the one that we ran. I started off with a higher budget to take advantage of Q4. More people are running their product. I thought it'd be better to add a little bit more risk because I've kind of been doing lower budgets, $100 and below, $50 is my normal. So I decided to do a $150 Canadian budget. It was a $150 Canadian budget each day. However, it overspent drastically each day, So we'll look at the entire campaign here, and I'll just, like I explained before, it was product and then avatar and then angle, or product, avatar, angle. It was, my testing strategy was product, avatar, angle, and micro test or segmentation. The actual strategy regarding, scaling, cutting, and doing all that, well, I'll explain it here. So I started off with, we'll go to on the 18th, it's the day that it spent maybe it was the 19th that spent my money. It was the 19th that actually spent. So I put my budget on 150, it overspent by $100. As you can see, the budget was it $100? Perhaps it was $100. I'm pretty sure it was 150 though. Maybe I changed this after I did change this I'm not sure. Anyways, it was 150. So impressions was very high, reach was high, frequency, so. Got 54 link clicks. I got, $5 CPC, pretty high, a higher CTR. CPM, very high because of Q4, 6 ATCs, hook rate, blah, 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 blah. So not fantastic. And we'll just go here and we'll look at the ad level, and we'll look at, I like to filter when I'm looking at my ads by amount spent, because it shows you where the majority of your budget is going to and what ads it's going to. And it just allows you to see what Meta is allocating your budget to. So we'll see here, majority of my spend went to this gut health ad. Then it was shared by my 2 odor videos, and then another gut health one, and then an odor one. So this was my best performing ad. Spent $100, 31 link clicks, I got 1 add to cart. 0 purchases for day 1. Noticeably, you'll see that I got 3 add to carts, but less link clicks, but more add to carts with half the budget. So on day 1, I didn't want to do anything. I just let it spend. You'll see here on December 20th is when it starts to change a little bit. More even ad spend across my ads for whatever reason. But we see here that my top ad was my odor ad. The second one was odor as well. So these spent relatively evenly. And on a $40 budget for this ad, or a $40 spend for this ad, I got 1 purchase. So really the ROAS and the CPA is irrelevant, right? Because it was only 1 purchase. But all this is irrelevant, really. 1 add to cart. Link clicks, proportionate to link clicks, 5 link clicks versus 12 link clicks. So my odor ones were performing better. And then less spend to my other avatars, my other ad sets. As you can see, no add to carts. If we go to 21 here, we will see, okay, here you are. Very similar. So here Meta, I guess, was looking to test other ads. So it saw 1 got a purchase, and so it's trying to, I guess, test body odor as well as these other angles. Give me a second. Sorry about that. I don't know what I was talking about. The amount spent here, 55, 54, evenly spent. 1 purchase on $50 spent. So that was my last purchase. I ran it for 1 more day after this. There we are. Maybe I only ran it for 2 days and I just cut it because I spent $400, something like that. Anyways, I decided to unpause the campaign January 1st, run it on a slightly lower budget, using the same ads that I had, the same creatives that I had formerly deployed. I didn't make any changes to the campaign except for the budget. However, a crucial mistake that I made was actually pausing the campaign in expectation of CPMs being lower for Q1. Now, I would say that this is not a rookie mistake and that some people don't know about this. I didn't really think anything of it, but I've heard people say that pausing the campaign during the testing phase is bad. I decided to just disregard that. Anyways, you'll see here that on January 1st, okay, of course, I got no conversions. Amount spent was $100 on the ad that got me sales. Okay, well, they got me one purchase. With an avatar, they got me a purchase. With the same creative that got me a purchase. Doubled the budget. No, not even. I decreased the budget, but all of the budget went to that one ad. So it had more spend, and I got 0 purchases. I mean, that's got to tell you something about pausing budgets. So I went and I asked the Meta, AI, whatever it is, Meta AI, hey, should I pause budgets in testing phase, blah, blah. The answer is no. And the reason for this is because it'll mess up the testing phase. You need at least 50 conversion events to get into the learning phase. Then you can pause, make, variations and whatnot. Maybe going forward, if I had wanted, not going forward, but in, retrospect, looking back in retrospect, I would have waited for Q1 instead of pausing the campaign, just let it run, like $10 daily ad spend. So that way it's still very slowly getting the pixel data, but I'm not pausing the campaign, and thus it's not disrupting that learning gathering. So here's the analytics for sessions by social refer. Instead of just looking at analytics and just looking at the funnel, that also filters into the website stuff that I did. So I'm just taking it a little bit more precise here. So we'll see here that sessions in total by social refer was 124. Okay, so across Facebook and Insta, 124. So that's what I got from Meta, for the whole time I was running the campaign. Okay, so we'll check here sessions with cart additions. Okay, sessions with cart additions doesn't look great. We have 7 people added to cart out of 124 sessions. So maybe it was curiosity clicks, maybe. Now that makes sense. Gut health was where my gut health creatives got the most spend initially, and they had the highest number of link clicks. So maybe it was a curiosity click type of thing. Or maybe the gut health could have been my best performing ads, but since gut health wasn't explicitly the very first benefit they saw in the listicle, they clicked off. I don't know. Maybe I'm just storming shit up. 4 people reached checkout out of 124. That is brutal. Like, that is some brutal shit. And then, of course, here, average session duration was 21 seconds. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe the listicle was a bad idea. I'm curious to see how this would be if I ran it on a product page, with only body odor angle. But yeah, that's what it is. So here it was, my final cost of goods, or my final profit loss sheet, down 640. Can I say that I learned a lot from this store? No. I did write down, though, in this Google Docs, some takeaways for this product test that I thought was helpful. So as you can see here, product liquid chlorophyll, December 18th to December 22nd. January 1st. Ad cost, revenue, sales, profit, whatever it was. So here's the good. Revenue of 100 and only 2 orders. That's significant for me, at least. Created ads myself entirely from scratch. Used Premiere Pro, professional editing software. Went really hard with the AI ads, HeyGen, 11 Labs script. Sound effects, B-roll, UGC music, as it says there, everything, the whole Shazam, right? I did deep research with AI and market, product, avatars, angles, creatives, website, everything. That was instrumental, I'd say, in the ad creative process. I'm so thankful for that, because going into it without that, I would have just been targeting some random ass angle, or I would have been just using some random ass music. Every part of that avatar every part of that creative was from the prompt, was from the output of that prompt from AI. And every part of it was meticulously, however much the AI actually meticulously picked the specific elements of the creative to, however precise it was to target the avatar. I thought that it made sense, but it was just so quick for me. I didn't need to spend time thinking about what I was going to do or how do I target this the best. That AI deep research was very, very helpful for me. So as soon as I sat down to do those creatives, it was like, bam, do this, do that, do that. Super helpful. And of course, it wasn't only the AI. I used my brain as well to do little nifty stuff. Created my first listicle and I actually converted. So first time ever doing a listicle and I got sales. I think that's significant. And I didn't stress about the metrics or the money spent, had faith and was confident in my research. So that's new for me. Bad. Campaign overspent by $200 as I planned for a 3-day test initially. Yeah, it took too long to do everything. Laziness, procrastination, that was something for sure. And wanting it to be perfect, so that perfectionism. I think I actually spent too long planning. Q4, CPMs were high. I could blame it on the times, but hey, you can't do that. Only 2 orders in 3 days. That's bad for me. Didn't wake up early to add money to the account, so I got restricted and stuff like that. Rookie mistake. Here's some learnings going forward. So these are some takeaways that are helpful for me. So bundle offer was initially X each because I coped. What the fuck is it? I copied my competitor and was selling a bundle offer. Yeah. Initially I had the bundle offer at the price per product in the bundle instead of just having it as the full price of the bundle. I copied that from Jabby Coffee as well. I thought it's a psychological thing where it kind of just makes it seem like it's less. But maybe in retrospect, if they're adding the cart and then going to cart, they might find that that's, you know, because the cart didn't replicate that, and it's going to give them a subtotal, and the subtotal of course is going to be the bundle offer and not the individual price. So maybe it'd be a shock. Maybe that would only work for, you know, customers with, you know, high LTV. The listicle looked great in my opinion, but considering my only conversions were from the body odor angle, the listicle was focused on other unprofitable avatars. Still, this could just be a Q4 thing, so it's just interesting to note. I should probably cost cap and bid to keep the CPA low. Okay, well the CPA made sense that it was high because it was Q4, because it was Q4 and the CPMs were high. So it would make sense that the CPA is high because I'm spending more money to get conversions. So I haven't tried cost cap bid to keep the CPA low, but I have 2 objections to that. Is number 1, should I really be limiting Facebook when it's trying to find my customers? And number 2, high volume is what I'm always going for, right? I'm always clicking for high volume in the campaign, the setting where it's like, what's your optimization goal? High volume, cost cap, buy in advance, that type of thing. So maybe I could do that, but you know, something to note. I'll look more into that. I think, okay, yeah, we didn't do that. Don't pay attention to that. Yeah, I really like the listicle format. Maybe I should have added some reviews at the bottom. Hero offer was a bit unstructured and I changed it multiple times. So next time I'll have a set one that transitions to the CTA nicely. Yeah, I should have worked on my CTA a little bit more. What else do I have to talk about? Yeah. So let me just put this up here. Okay, so where I'm at now and the takeaways. Well, I think that was an unsuccessful product test, not because of the amount spent, proportionate to, you know, only 2 conversions, but I don't think I learned too much. I'd say there were some successes for sure. You know, having sales on a listicle is pretty good. Having add to carts and reach checkouts on a listicle, I mean, for my first time, I'd say that's pretty good. But, you know, other factors went into it. You know, procrastination was a big thing. Q4, you know, CPMs were high, this and that, you know, it was my first time running a listicle. And I paused the campaign, which was a big one. So going forward, shouldn't do that. In its entirety though, you know, I can take away some information from this. In its entirety, what else can I say? My biggest takeaway from this store, what would my biggest takeaway be? The campaign structure and my creative structure. I think it was helpful to have 3 different avatars. Well, let me start from the beginning. I tested liquid chlorophyll after doing deep market research and finalizing that this was going to be my product. And I looked at competitors, I looked at their sites, looked at their creatives, and I don't believe the product was too saturated. I mean, you don't have a ton of people selling it. It is a popular product, but I wouldn't say that I wouldn't say that every avatar and angle is tested. So I found the body odor angle. Essentially nobody was testing that angle for liquid chlorophyll. It was all different. And I know that for a fact. So it's hard to say, you know, that the avatars were, or that the product was a bad product, because I don't think it is. And I spent $700. Like, if you look at the data that I would have gotten in Q1 versus Q4, and by extension, the volume of purchases that I would have gotten relative to the spend that I had, oof. I mean, I think I would have been at least marginally more successful, given that I had that listicle, which probably reduced the, you know, the scroll through rate. What was I getting at here? Yeah, biggest takeaway was the creative. So yeah, starting looking at that product, the liquid chlorophyll product, looked at the avatars, and then I did the creatives. And yeah, I think that's the biggest takeaway, is that before I would literally just I would rip straight up content from Callow and then put it onto my shit. Didn't find an avatar, didn't find an angle, didn't do none of that shit. But at the same time, like I said earlier in this video, my friend just launched a product, and it's a pump and dump product. And you know, first day he got like 5-7 orders or whatever it was. I mean, just straight up ripped from Callow. So again, this was a test, you know, at least I learned a little bit from it, but I'm not sure if this was helpful in any way. Take what you will. If anybody has any questions, leave them down below. And yeah, thank you for watching.